Joey D, Comedian of the Year. How you going, bro?
Good, brother. Good to see you, Des.
You too, cuz.
Thanks for having me, brother.
You liking the photo?
Fucking, I reckon it needs to be more pixelated, but
That's the best resolution I could find. I saw that photo though, and I was like, "Yep,
yeah,
that's worth putting
it's
up
not
there."
bad. That's just out the back of my my office out west.
Oh, is
it? Yeah. So that alleyway is out the back.
Yeah.
And there's that little it's a little hot boiler cupboard.
Yeah.
And homeless dudes they smoke.
Serious?
They smoke weed in it,
Seriously,
bro. Right next to a boiler.
Holy
So I don't really
shit.
know much about boilers and that, but
Doesn't sound safe.
it doesn't. but
Yeah.
But yeah, if the news article comes up, homeless dude on fire, Glendine.
Most likely.
It was out the back of Joey D's house. So.
Yeah. The toke that went wrong.
Yeah.
So, bro, more on that though. So, you've got a little. So, what have you got set up out there? Is it a production house or?
Yeah. So it's just I mean, it's just it's weird, but it's my sort of production company, but I kind of just feed everything that I do back into it. So.
Yeah.
At the moment, I don't really have a slate or any capacity in it, but just everything that I'm building up in myself is to, eventually one day be able to come back and develop it through it. So, it's just like a spot for me to just be creative and just kind of fuck around, bro. Got like a PlayStation in there and
Sweet.
a couple of couches and.
That's what you want, man, as a creative, eh? You don't want someone looking over your shoulder and being your boss and all that sort of shit. You want to be in with a group of people or alone and just being able to just write shit down or be creative in the way that you want to be.
Yeah, and anybody that's seen my Instagram, there's just shit all over the walls and stuff. And yeah, it's just because people don't really realize, because I think I come across quite put together, I don't know. But I'm actually quite, in my head, quite manic, I guess. So having a place where I can sort of put it all out there.
Yeah,
it's been really good for me. So yeah, that's just the spot. That's just the spot I have out there.
Cool.
And yeah, just kind of fuck around in it, and
that's awesome.
Just
so everything's come off.
there.
So the last time you and I spoke, Instagram taken off, right? The social media stuff's going really, really well. We come out of COVID, and now you're conquering the real world. You son of a bitch. What's going on? Selling out stadiums. What the hell, man? You have a Netflix special next.
It's pretty crazy, eh? Yeah, because I think we talked during lockdown, and I was kind of in the midst of that big sort of rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think it was such a funny thing because it was something that I was becoming quite conscious of during lockdown. Obviously, the massive as growth.
Yeah.
The whole time. I think I said it to you on the podcast. I was thinking, okay, the challenge is going to be, is this going to translate to when I do real? Because social media and real world, two very, very different things. Yeah. There's a handful of examples. There was this chick. This was what I was thinking of that made me self-conscious. She had 1 million followers. Yep. And she was trying to crowdfund for some business or something. She's trying to crowdfund something, like $5,000. With 1 million followers, you wouldn't think that was a tough ask. I think she raised $30.
Really?
So right, it's something dumb. I mean, if I'm honest, it might have been $500, $600. But
it doesn't translate as well as a lot of people think it does.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah. Especially if you haven't built your audience the right way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, we know plenty of people who, their audience is kind of just there to look at their pictures, and anytime they post something outside of that, there's not really any interest. So I was worried about that and becoming quite conscious of that during the period of lockdown in which we spoke, where it was growing quite rapidly. Then, to come out of lockdown, just chuck a tour up. The tour was definitely just to sort of see, okay, has it sort of translated? And bro, the whole tour sold out 2.5 hours, and every show was over capacity. The crowds were humming.
Where were these shows? Where were the tour? Because I think you were Welly at one stage.
Yeah, so I did So I started off in Christchurch, did two in Christchurch, Little Andromeda, did one in Dunedin at Starters Bar, then did two in Hamilton at the Meteor Theatre.
Yeah.
And then did Wellies, did 3 in Wellington. So the Wellies ones, was the first one where I was like, fuck, okay, it's a little bit different. Because the first show sold out in 5 minutes. I was like, shit, that's pretty crazy. Add another one that sold out in 30 seconds. Added a third one that sold out in 30 seconds.
Holy shit.
Bro, it was fucked. It was fuck.
I saw that. I remember reading something about. I didn't realize it was 30 seconds though, but they were selling like fucking hotcakes, man. They were going so hard.
It was going so fast, and so for me, I was just like, shit. Okay, something's changed for sure.
Yeah.
But the biggest one has been obviously the Sky City shit, bro. So
how did that come about? How would you have the audacity to do the Sky City Theatre?
I know, right? So what happened was, I had one of my mates. He helped me organise the Starters Bar gig in Dunedin because he manages a bunch of like real well-known musicians.
Yeah.
And he's a young dude, bro. He's this guy Lockie. He's part of Garbage Records. He's only 20 years old, bro. So he's like this fucking kid genius.
Yeah.
He's the man. And he manages a really well-known rapper named Wax Mustang, who I'm a big fan of. Yeah. And we just met through mutual friends. And he randomly was just like, yeah, bro, if you ever need help like doing organising stuff, I'm keen to help. And I was in the middle of organising the tour.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, bro, I don't have a date for Dunedin. Can you suss that? And so he sussed the Starters Bar, did all of that.
Yeah.
And then anyway, I was on the tour. The feedback had been unreal. And so I just hit him up. I was like, bro, should we give Sky City a go? And he's like, yeah, bro, I reckon we should. And I'll be completely honest. There was a point where we'd sorted it, where Sky City had said they're keen. They were drawing up the contract. And I went back to him. I was like, bro, actually, nah, I don't think we should. I went to him. I was like, nah, bro, I don't think we should. I don't think it's a good idea.
What were the numbers that you were doing regionally compared to Sky City?
So Media was about 200. So did 2 shows about that. So that one was
a good audience though,
bro. And that's what I'm saying is like, so it's just under 200, and I did a Thursday night. So 2 shows, just under 200 each show on a Thursday night. I was like, okay, fuck. Yeah. There's if 400 people will come watch me on Thursday in Hamilton. Like how big will the audiences elsewhere be? So I think it was when that. Yeah, I think it was sort of while I was on the tour and I was seeing the feedback firsthand. I was like, okay. I called up Locke, was like, yeah, bro, we'll give it a go. And then I shat myself. Was like, okay, bro, fuck. Let's pull back. Look, let's do a 200 seater. Let's do. I think Herald Theatre is just like 200. Herald Theatre and City Centre. Yeah. And then he just said to me, bro, the message you're going to send if you do this gig is that you've just taken yourself to another level, and I think you'll regret it if you don't take that opportunity right now, because we never know what might happen. The chance to do this may never come again. Yeah. So we should do it right now. That's what he said to me. This kid's 20, bro, talking to me. Yeah. Explaining to me like that, and I just said, fuck it.
A bit of a boy genius.
Yeah, bro, he really is. He really is a fucking genius. Shout out Locke. And yeah, bro, I was like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. Chuck the tickets up, bro. 20 minutes, gone.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It was unreal.
So before all of this, before lockdown and that, you were doing like Upstairs at the Classic or something, weren't you?
Yeah. So I was doing, I think my comedy festival venue last year was 50 seats.
Yeah.
10 p.m, so worst time slot in the worst venue.
Yeah.
And we sold pretty well over that weekend.
Yep.
But that was kind of the extension of my powers. And where my standing was in the industry, obviously, is, you know, they think I'm good enough for the worst slot in the worst venue. And so, yeah, we sold. I mean, I think we would have sold better if we were in a better time slot for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of where things were. And then to be a year later, to be doing, you know, a venue bigger than all the other venues that the festival holds.
Yeah. Holy hell.
Doing multiple nights is crazy. I think because the initial thing as well was I said on my Instagram that I would do ASB Waterfront Theatre, which is 650.
Yeah. It's a nice cinema.
Oh, yeah. It's real flash, eh? Yeah. And then, to then just sort of skip that and go to Sky City.
What's the numbers at Sky City?
700.
Shit, that's good, eh?
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, bro, sorry, fuck.
I'm just imagining all of the other like diehard, 10-year veteran comedians who are just going, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so yeah, bro, it's I mean, fuck, it's all just kind of coming out there because I haven't really talked to anybody about it, really. So,
what's the confidence like, though, bro? Like, in all seriousness, how's it feeling for you mentally and you confidently? To actually step it up to that level.
Bro, it's so weird. I feel like I couldn't have been more ready.
No shit.
Yeah, I feel real good. I think when the show sold out, I think, and then just kind of seeing all the the response from the media, the industry.
Yeah.
Because it was hectic, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I think on Friday alone, I did probably 5 interviews just on the Friday. So the response from the media and the industry, I never expected from doing this, but it was exactly what Locke said, because he specifically said, bro, what the message that this will send is that you've just taken yourself to the next level, sort of outside of the system, which was always my goal. I just never really figured out. I just never really knew exactly how I was going to do that. But it was weird, bro. As soon as it all kind of came, because it all came at once, no part of me was uncomfortable. I was just like,
That's awesome.
Nah, I'm more than good enough to do this. And I'm ready. And that's how it felt, bro, to be honest. And I mean, you know me, I'm always real open if I'm not confident about something and if I'm like shitting myself.
That is true.
But yeah, when that all came in, I was like, nah, this is me.
That's like making short films and then the following year making an IMAX movie.
It really is. Hey, it really is. Yeah.
And then having the confidence to go, I got this.
Yeah, straight
Sweet
up.
as.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got good people around you supporting you and during the whole process? Obviously you got lucky, but you know.
Yeah, still building that network, bro. So just started my first she's an assistant, but we call her associate producer because it sounds flash.
Intern.
Yeah. Because it sounds sick. So started her today. So just trying to build that support structure, because I think what initially I thought I needed to be managed. But what I found is I know my direction, I know my goals, and I actually have an idea of how to get there, but I just need help in the execution. So it's not so much. And I'm watching Kevin Hart's documentary actually helped me out with it heaps.
The documentary?
The Netflix series that he has. It's called like Don't Fuck This Up or something. It's real good. Bro.
Oh, I think I started that over lockdown, but got distracted by something else. Yeah.
No, fair enough. I would if I was staying at your house too, but
But Kevin Hart's good, man. I heard him on Rogan like a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, look at this dude being more inspiring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's open about his flaws.
Yeah.
And he's getting attacked on his flaws. Have you had any negativity coming your way with this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, but it was always something I knew would come.
Yeah.
If I'm completely honest, I think I've been really lucky, considering the shit that I tend to say, and I know kind of what I do isn't really for everyone, but I think I've been relatively lucky. You know, you get the same sort of hate that you would have got all our mates are more than familiar with, but it's. But because it's been something that I've been working towards for so long, bro, I think the moment it came, none of it was overwhelming to me. I was just like, I've been ready for this for fucking probably since the day I started. I've been thinking about this moment. So, and if I'm honest, I think every next step up, and I know it'll be an absolute roller coaster. I think every next step up, I'll just feel the same.
Yeah.
So it's quite funny because it will sound sad, but it wasn't like an exciting thing for me, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Because for so long I was just like, I'll get there. Then when you get, I don't know, it sounds depressing when you say it. But
I'm swinging a huge.
It's
all good.
Yeah. I don't know, bro, but it is for sure weird, especially since, I mean, you would have seen the position I was in, even like for fucking this time, like, last year and later in the year. So
fuck, it was this time last year. Shit, it's gone fast.
Yeah.
It goes fast when nothing happens for like, the rest of the world.
Yeah. And
case.
Yeah. And in places way further from us. Where nothing happens.
How was coming out of lockdown?
Bro, it was good, man. I think I just built up so much sort of energy.
Yeah.
And then I just came out like all guns blazing.
That's good.
Because how did you find when you came out?
Because we came out in that weird sort of pattern, like level.
Yeah, it was like
level 2.
You're still locked down.
Yeah,
but we're not.
But it wasn't one moment where you sort of walked out and went, I'm free.
Which we all thought it was going to be, eh?
Yeah, but we were just, next level, cool. Oh, we can go to bars again, yay, but we can't stand up.
Yeah.
It's weird, we have to sit down and blah,
Yeah,
blah,
it's
blah.
like you guys are level 3, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. Everything's the same. And now it's level 4 now. Now it's level 4, and the only thing we can't do is travel overseas.
Yeah.
Well, we can, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, because you were doing a lot of work during lockdown.
I was doing some little videos and all that sort of thing, and still doing voice work, which was quite good.
Yeah.
Had a
So
good setup.
when you were coming out, was there like a lot for you to sort of just feed right into, or was it a lot? Was it a process of building up?
Yeah, it's actually happened quite well. So, yeah, a lot of work has come through in the corporate world. So
Yeah.
corporates have just gone, holy shit, we are either going to crash and burn, we could crash and burn. We need to spend as much money on marketing as we can, and just one last hurrah, Hail Mary pass. So companies like mine who are doing a lot of corporate work, they're coming to us and they're just wanting new strategies, they're wanting new videos made.
Yeah.
And because of the videos that I made online, I've had a lot of people come through and they, I want that style.
Yeah.
We want this and that. You know, a lot of them come and they inquire, and it gets exciting, and then they pull out, and I think they actually die away. But a lot of them are sticking, which is quite nice. So that's been a lot busier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So no, it's been good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
I do think there's going to be a lull again though before Christmas. I think there's.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few.
Yeah, because
The
all
recession
the
thing.
cuts and stuff, eh?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a struggle all around really when it comes into October, November. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I've heard sort of similar that around then there'll be a little bit of a dip.
Yeah.
I think it's hard in our industry, especially where so much of it does rely on corporate money.
Oh yeah, totally.
Pretty much all of it. So.
Yeah. But it's as I said, it's a weird balancing act. Corporates need marketing, and we need their money. And but then a lot of them haven't got any money, or they've been laying off a lot of staff. We had some companies come to us with big ideas of things they wanted to do, and they had big money sums they wanted to spend on it, but then they realized that they've just sacked 50 people, so it's not within their best interests to spend money on marketing when they're sacking people. So
yeah, for sure,
that's been a frustrating sort of thing, but that hasn't been too bad. As I said, a lot of it's been sticking, and I've been busy, so that's awesome.
I think that's where I found the power in like what I'm doing, bro, because I started making more money during lockdown than I had before, and then obviously out of lockdown, it's fucking just been unreal. And I think it really opened my. It was something. The funniest thing about this whole period for me is it's been stuff that I've always known, but I've never actually done myself. So it's been things that I've known in theory, but I've never actually put into practice. And the biggest thing that this period has shown me is that the power for media is always in the audience, because there's always going to be an audience that. Obviously, everybody has a range in what they want to give you for what you have, but that's exactly it. Is that it's a spectrum, and if you're covering all the bases in that, people are going to give what they can. So that's what I found, bro. Is that I didn't have anything tied up in a company. I didn't have anything tied up in brands. My thing was just I was going straight to audience. And
the thing is, you have an audience, so you are being you. And as you said before, it's like it's not for everybody. Who gives a shit? You've got a niche, and that's perfect. You know what it is, and you're targeting it, and you're going for it. So many people, especially in the Instagram, like social media influencer crap world, they want to please everybody. And it's all going to be great, and and they just fizzle away and die because they don't focus on that one thing. When you're making movies, you focus on one genre and do it really well. That's why horror is really popular, because you can do it on a low budget, and you smash it.
Specific.
But there's a massive audience for that sort of stuff. So similar with you. You've got your audience, you know your audience.
Stick to that, You're
sticking to it, eh?
Yeah, for sure. And it's it's been the biggest eye opener for me is that once you grab that audience, you can do whatever. And with me, it's I've got a Patreon, and then the advertisers, they're coming to you for access to that audience. It's not you going to them for access to their funds for your content. It's they're coming to you for what you have. And so that changes the dynamic again. And then when you're incorporating live, with the touring and stuff, it shows like what how new age media really should be, and it shows that why television and everything else sort of struggles in this day and age is because they're not focused on audience, they're focused on corporate. They're focused on their money is coming from advertising. And when you're in an environment where that is fucking drying up, that's where you get yourself now, where you've got all these things you need to do, but you've got no money to pay for it.
I think there was a lot of testing the waters when I came out of COVID or during COVID, because having been on the Bachelorette, having been on there, I sort of developed an audience of that audience, and then coming out of it and doing the Instagram videos and the updates on the show and just adding a little bit of comedy to that. That took off really well.
It did.
But then when that finished, I didn't know what to do. So I've been sort of dipping my toe in all kinds of different things and trying to work out what it is.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I've just got to go back to doing what I was doing there, and that was just reviewing shit and doing it fast and having fun.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say, yeah, because what did you, over all the videos that you were doing and stuff, the ones that, was there like something common between the ones that you felt went really well? I mean, in the sense of the ones you were doing where you were doing the lockdown videos, and then the ones where you're doing the reviewing the episodes.
Yeah.
Like the ones that went really well, what were you doing in those ones?
The ones I was doing that did really well, pretty much just talking.
Yeah.
Just the verbal ones where I was just going hard like that. I didn't...
Because your best lockdown one was the one where you did all the accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And funnily enough, that was actually the least amount of talking, but there was the accents, and then there was... You've either got to go talk 100 miles an hour and do the thing that I do and do it well in that aspect, or have a lot of production value and just editing and cutting and and all that. But I've been trying to do something in between lately, and it's not really working.
Yeah.
You know? So it's either got to be balls to the wall talking or using the technical side of things.
Yeah, I think what I found was, because for me, for ages, you could have easily perceived it as not working, because I think from so I started posting regularly on Instagram April last year, and then probably from April to, I don't know, like October, November, I think I may have gained like 1,000 followers. So 1,000 followers over 5 months is like, it's not that good.
Yeah.
And that was me posting regularly, but I was sort of figuring out.
So what was the difference in the post that you were doing in that period to, the success you had during lockdown?
Yeah, so I think it was an amalgamation of a few things. I think I did eventually find what people really enjoyed, but I made sure to keep bringing it back to the rawness that I had before.
Yep.
The posts that I was doing before were almost too much just myself, because it was just me in my car, and it's like, that can build up an audience slowly.
Yeah.
But it serves a different purpose. So when I'm just myself and just doing stuff in my car, that's good for creating a loyal audience, but it's not good for creating a big one.
Yeah.
But when I figured out how to gain mass attention,
yeah,
that was the game changer for me. So, and then what I did, and you can go through my feed and you sort of see it, is I would have a really big clip that would bring in a lot of people, and then I'd bring it back to like one of those ones that's just basic, so that people kind of expect.
That's the way.
Yeah, because if you get them tied to one thing, then they just expect that constantly.
All the time.
And so you can kind of see that I drip fed in between like some videos that went quite well, just videos of me just talking shit in my car, just to kind of keep it at the roots.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, so finding what makes a really popular video was obviously a big game changer, but then finding the consistency by getting that balance was what has made it what it is today. Because you can have really amazing videos, but if you're not consistent, it's not going to go. Yep. And you can be consistent, but if it's dog shit, no one's going to watch it. So getting that mix is always the gold. And I think once I found that, that was where it just all sort of came together. And then for me, it was perfect timing, because I figured that all out, and then literally lockdown hit. And then I just decided I'm going to post every single day.
Yeah.
And then, you did. It was a lot of things that I learned and obviously worked hard to get. And then fucking all that 4 weeks of luck for me. Yeah. Like lockdown was amazing for me. And so that's kind of, it all came together. And
editing's the key to try and get as much stimulation as you can into people. Like the bigger videos, like you said before, the one that was really successful for me over lockdown was there's a lot of editing, a lot of visual stimulation.
Yeah. Quick cuts,
going.
Different locations.
Yeah. People like that sort of thing, but it's so much hard work.
It really is.
But it's worth it if you do one maybe two of those a week. Yeah. And then fill in all the rest of it with simple stuff, as you're saying. Yeah. That can really work for you.
Yeah, because what I thought would work for you, bro, is incorporating, because fuck, you're a killer on the accents. The character stuff, because what I found is, even if you go on any of my posts, bro, people know the names of my characters, and they're like, when's yada yada going to come back? When's yada yada going to come back? Yeah. And so having something recurring for people to... that people, because then you're speaking to different audiences, and you might have people that like your American dude, or you might have people that like your British dude. And, so like for me, I captivated my Māori audience by doing Māori characters, perceived as Māori characters. But then I captivated my Pacifica audience by doing like fob characters.
Yeah.
You know, like a fob Fiji.
The blessings of being both.
Yeah. And then captivated sort of the the Pākehā audience by just being me, so
being
myself,
well received. Yeah. That's awesome. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, so doing the regional tour and all that. What was predominantly your audience?
Bro, it was so
Parangi, were they brown?
fuck. It was random, man. Because it was really random. So Christchurch, one of the shows was pretty predominantly Palangi.
Yeah.
And then one of the shows was fucking just all brown.
Yeah.
And then Dunners was all just young people, mostly white because it's, Dunners is mostly, there was definitely a good group of Pacifica people there who I definitely spoke to. Hamilton was kind of similar to Christchurch again. One was largely white and then the second one was largely brown.
True.
And I think I was really proud to sort of see that on the tour, bro, because it just kind of...
You got cut through, eh?
Yeah. For me, it kind of showed that, there's a bit of translation. Yeah. But I think the buzziest one for me was I was walking along like Ponsonby Road one day, and this like 50-year-old dude comes up to me. He's in a business suit, and he's like, "Hey, I follow you on Instagram." I was like, "What? You look like my dad."
No shit.
Yeah, bro. This 50-year-old,
Hey.
and he was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, no, my son showed me you, and you're hilarious, man. Keep it up. Do you do it for a full-time job?" And I was like, "Nah, I also do $1 a minute hand job. So, and I know that's where you're going in your suit cut. So, can I get it right?" But yeah, bro, it's this 50-year-old, the student in his 50s.
Yeah.
And I think when I saw that, I was like, fuck, it really is.
Yeah.
I think it really has sort of translated across the board.
Yeah. At least people don't get embarrassed when they say they know you. For me, after coming off The Bachelorette, it was like, "Oh, you're the guy from the TV show, the reality TV show.
Yeah,
you're the mole."
I've never watched it, but you know what you did on episode.
My missus
3.
watches it all the time.
You know what you did on episode 3.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand. It's everyone that knows you knows fucking every single thing.
Yeah.
About what you did and where the fuck
It's so weird. The amount of middle-aged dudes that said they, "Oh, no, my missus watches it, so I happen to." I mean, exactly what you say. But that thing you did, to Glenn, that was terrible. I'm like, "Oh yeah, How much have you been watching, bro?" Because if people remember the names, they're hooked.
Yeah, of course.
They know it hard.
Of course.
And if for me in that scenario, if they remember me by my name rather than just the mole, that was like, you guys.
You're really watching. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. You probably don't like talking about it too much, but you still catch up with the boys, eh?
Yeah, from time to time. Not much anymore. I think everyone does sort of go along their own sort of direction. But the Auckland-based guys, we catch up every once in a while.
Yeah, because have some of them tried to transition into like regular TV stuff? Because I saw Steve does.
Steve's been trying.
He's done a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, he had actually a friend of mine, funnily enough, just coincidentally, is a photographer, and he asked her. She asked him if she could take his photo with some of her Colombian friends.
Crack up.
So he just went and did that, and that's actually really good for him. He's been doing heaps of stuff, but man, he needs to work on his smolder. It's always the same thing. I'm like, dude, he's always just like, this whole like trying to do the eyebrow thing. I'm like, dude, no, find you. Smile. Yeah, smile. He's got a good smile. It's not, don't be afraid of your smile,
Yeah, I think I'm still fucking trying to figure that out. Because I've never been a picture taker. So, like, over this last period of fucking people taking my picture and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so awkward figuring out.
That's a goodie though.
How do you want me to stand?
I like that photo.
Yeah, she had to literally tell me exactly how to stand. She was telling me, bring your chest forward. Okay, relax your shot. She had to
chin down.
she had to talk me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's been a process of figuring that out.
Yeah.
But I wondered how all the boys had been finding, if any of them tried to transition into the industry, because
there's been others.
It's such a shit show.
There was some of them who really wanted to not do the industry stuff as in like film and TV, but they just wanted to go straight into influencers, They wanted to be the health influencer. They wanted to be this and wanted to be that. And when you watch the show, you can tell immediately who's going to try to do that. And sure enough, when they come out of it, they're trying so hard. And they do such a shithouse job.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're following for them to think that what they're doing is a good idea. but it's woeful, and you can tell they're just trying to plagiarize other people's stuff, but doing it so badly.
Yeah,
Filters, adding all these filters to things, and I'm like, dude, just stop it.
Well, I think especially in the realm that you guys would have been in, their reference point would have been the previous, people from previous, and again, they're not probably the best people to look at, because
that's a good point. They're looking at other reality TV influencers. So it's just the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, it really is. But it's, I don't know. That's an interesting thing, because it's especially someone like, I use Steve as an example. It's a guy who's had, he's had careers and stuff, and because I'm always so interested in people trying to transition into entertainment and stuff, because fucking you and me both know it's such like a it's such a shit show of an industry.
Hard, man. It's very fickle.
It's fickle. It's built to destroy your confidence. It's built to.
You gotta have thick skin, man. If you can't take a no, then you're just gonna get slayed. And that's what I notice the most about people who want to be influencers and people who want to be, in the industry or entertainers. The influencers haven't got thick skin.
Nah. That's why they stay at the surface level of it. Yeah.
And they've got their keyboard, and that's the way they do it. They'll take photographs. They'll take their own photographs, but when other people take their photographs, it doesn't normally work out that well. I remember when I first heard the term influencer, we were filming something, I can't remember exactly what it was, many years ago. And we got this influencer chick coming along to do some stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is an influencer? And they explained it to me, and they said, she was big on Facebook, and Instagram was sort of a thing back then, but more Facebook and YouTube. I was like, okay, sweet. So she knows, might be okay. We'll see how we go. She rocks up and was absolutely hopeless at taking direction. Absolutely hopeless at,
she would have never been on. She would never been on a set. She would never been.
She can't have other people tell her what to do. All her videos and all that sort of thing and photographs, they were her taking photos of herself. But taking direction was a little bit harder.
And that's actual. Because I think that, bro. That's been a frustrating thing, is getting grouped in with. But because what people don't realize is 90% of people that are called influencers don't want to be called influencers. It's the fucking 10% that want to be called influencers that are the idiots.
Fucking it up for everybody else.
They're the idiots. So it's been a hard thing getting roped in with influencers, just because I kind of have, built a sort of...
For you, it's a marketing tool. It's a vehicle to get you to the next step.
Which
is on screen, which is maybe behind the camera, directing on screen, or whatever it is.
For sure. And for me, from day one, all I was trying to capitalize off of was my creativity. And sure, I've built this platform, but again, what I'm gonna capitalize and what I'm gonna monetize and all that is my talent and my creativity, and and stand up and writing and all of that. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use this platform to capitalize, which has been the frustrating thing to make people understand. Because I think it's been such an interesting thing watching, because I'm really good mates with Art and Matilda, and there was quite a big conversation in regards to, they had some dude come on to their podcast. And he talked about, I don't know, conspiracy theories or some shit. And anyway, the big conversation people were having was that if you're an influencer, you have an obligation to, to use your platform in a certain way. And my opinion is, actually the issue is that we immediately put value in a person because they have a certain amount of followers. And it's like, to me, it doesn't mean shit.
Most of them don't know shit.
Most of them are fucking idiots. If you take the following away, what did they mean to you? Nothing. So why do people put value into them purely based on their numbers? And that for me is like the biggest problem in influencer culture, is that we put these people on the pedestal, and then we're surprised when they fuck it up. It's like they're there because an imaginary number is tied to their name.
So there's ones that put up those, what do you call it? Inspirational fucking posts on Instagram with some. I'm like, what are you doing? Who are you? You've done nothing. Unless it is someone who's done something.
No,
but those people don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see The Rock putting up inspirational quotes. You see The Rock sitting there telling you what he's doing. That's the big difference.
And I think that's where the conversation needs to be. Because people keep saying, influencer culture is toxic, influencer culture is dangerous. For me,
it can be those things.
It can be, but I think what I keep looking at is, the issue is actually we need to teach our kids, we need to teach society to not put so much value into, because the whole reason influencer culture is toxic is because we inherently put so much value into it in the first place for it to then have that effect on us. instead of going to influencers and being like, you can't say this, you can't say this, why don't you tell your kids, influencers are fucking idiots. Just because they have heaps of followers, don't listen to what they're saying. They're effectively a stranger.
Yeah.
So just because they have all these followers doesn't mean they're any different to that fucking random dude at the bus stop.
Yeah, don't follow them because they've got a following.
Exactly.
Then you are a sheep.
Exactly.
And you're just following that. You don't want to be a sheep.
Exactly. And for me, that's exactly how I educate my younger brother about it, because we talk about it all the time because he's only 15. Is that these people are effectively strangers to you. So just because this fucking dude has 50,000 followers doesn't mean he actually knows anything about anything. And I tell it to people on my platform.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't listen. Don't take everything I say as if it's like I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll openly say that I don't know what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Fuck, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. but yeah, that's where I put But
it surprises me how many people will comment on my stuff and they go, "Is this real? Is this really happening?" But no, it's a fucking joke.
Use your head.
Like when Mullah pulled out, the National Party leader, they'll find someone one day. I put up a joke one with me being like, vote mole 2020, at least three people who follow me said, "Is this real? Is this real?" I said, for a start, my name's not Mole. So, just think about that. But people do buy into it. They want to. Fuck, it's weird.
Yeah, it's almost like I can imagine it was the same things the same conversations maybe they had when Television Mate came out. Like, don't believe what you're seeing on TV. It's like, no, that alien isn't really real. It's just a fucking string.
Yeah.
With with
it's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it's smoke and mirrors.
Everything was smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. And I think that's where the education needs to be. It doesn't need to be, because regardless of how many influencers you tell need to be careful with their platform, fucking any idiot can go viral. So any idiot can have that power. So we need to teach the people that we can influence, don't put so much value into it, because that shit is no more real than the fucking shit that you will see on Harry Potter or you see in movies.
Yeah. Mind you, got to look at people and think, right, are they building their platform for entertainment or are they building their platform for vanity?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's normally pretty easy for us anyway. We know what we're talking about, so it's easy to spot who's doing it for what reason. Yeah. But for a lot of other people,
I think it's
disguised and they don't know. They get confused.
Well, that's the thing is, I think you and I, we'd be more social media savvy than I would say 99% of the population. Genuinely, like fucking, I know more people that struggle to even know like how to post shit, let alone know the intricacies of when you should post, and look, I see what this person's trying to do, and they were cheeky putting that little branding thing in there, and the stuff that we sort of inherently know. And I think again that's where the sort of the messaging of social media gets mixed up, is because there really is two ends where a part of the population fucking knows every single thing about social media, and then a part of them doesn't know even how to make an account. So
the thing that annoys me are the companies that actually get behind that. They actually encourage it. They go, "Oh, look at that chick's got like 50,000, 70,000 followers."
I know.
It's just photos of her ass.
I know.
It's what?
Yeah.
You see this time and time again. It's just chicks showing their assholes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
The way I would put it is, say you're on a fucking beach,
Yeah.
There's this doctor who's talking about all this like amazing shit, how to fucking cure COVID, all that shit at this beach. Then on the other end, you've got this model, fattest ass you've ever seen. Massive juicy titties. All of that.
Yeah.
And then she just starts, and everybody's looking at her. Everyone's looking at her because she's got the whole package. Everyone's looking at her.
Yeah.
No one's looking at the doctor talking about the life-changing shit.
Yeah.
And then she just starts talking about, I don't know, she talks about whatever she wants with COVID. Everybody's going to be listening to her.
Yeah, true.
And
True.
And
cocaine cures COVID.
Exactly. So
and then everyone's, oh my God. Yeah.
And then the people from the outside are going to be looking at, look at where all these people are. They're viewing her. What she's saying must be more valuable than what this guy who no one is listening to is saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, is that's where the education should be, is that
Yeah.
These people here actually, they're there for not the reason that they should be listening to this dude.
Yeah.
But that's such a basic principle that fucking the average person clearly doesn't understand, because the average person is going to people, you've got a huge platform, you need to say this, you need to talk like this. It's like, the education should be. And these guys are all looking at her because she's got a big old fat ass.
Yeah.
And then this guy here's a fucking genius. So that's social media. It's just big juicy asses and smart dudes talking about shit, and smart chicks too.
And smart chicks.
Yeah.
But it's
sorry, ladies.
Oh, by the way, cocaine does not cure COVID.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: it does not.
Yeah.
If it did, it'd be nice, but it doesn't.
If you try to cure COVID with cocaine, results may vary. Results may vary.
Very good. I like that. That was good. It's Darwinian though, bro. What was I going to say? It was something along the lines of it's that sort of easily digestible culture that we live in at the moment. Yeah. Everything's got to be as easily digestible as possible. No one listens to the full conversation anymore. And they don't listen to nuance. They just want to yell at one another, blame everybody for everything, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The whole, since lockdown started, and in, over the last 3 months, the whole world seems to be yelling at one another. Like my issue's bigger than your issue, and this and that and da. I think a lot of people are just really fucking frustrated with the way that things are going at the moment. Everyone's locked down. No one knows if they're safe. All this. We're pretty lucky here.
We are.
We're pretty lucky. I went to a Blues game the other week, and I was like,
it's fucking
I'm surrounded by 37,000 people. This is good. I feel okay.
Bro, I know, and I think I think it's been funny sort of seeing on social media, people sort of going back to how things were before.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, we're so lucky to be here right now. Fucking the rest of the world's still locked down. The rest of the world, there's still people dying. I think US is like 100,000 people getting diagnosed a day or some shit.
Something like that. I think they've crossed 3 million. It's speeding up.
That's fucking crazy.
I think them and the UK are the only two countries that are actually exponentially speeding up the rate. It's weird.
That's fucking crazy, eh?
I don't know what's going on.
But was there any point where you were really freaked out about COVID and stuff?
Not really, yeah.
No.
Part of me was, maybe it was the naivete. I was kind of like, I don't care if I catch it. I kind of been okay to catch it because I thought, well, then I'm okay. Once I've had it once, I'll fight through it. I'm healthy. Sure. It'll be sweet.
Now, this is my disclaimer. Again, I'm an idiot. And so, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't. My mate, Liam, one of my good mates is Liam Malone. And he was, before lockdown, he was like really, like fucking, he was carrying around hand sanitizer, washing his hands constantly. He's knuckling everybody. Wasn't shaking anyone's hands, was doing the meter shit like way before lockdown was announced. And I would just laugh at him the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, if you go and knuckle one more person, I'm gonna personally spit on your hand. Because I think that was just my attitude towards it was just, I just don't, I don't really care. And I mean, I was, you know what, bro? I was just about to lie and say, I educated myself and learned that it is bad. I didn't even do that. So I just sort of did lockdown. I just did what I was told, washed my hands and shit. But for me, I'm not going to act like I did the right thing and like followed all the protocol. I mean, I did the bare minimum. And never really gave a proper fuck.
I just got so bombarded with different opinions. And different ideas and different bullshit. And I was just like, I don't know what to believe, so I'm going to believe none of it. Really, I was just like, I just don't care.
That was me.
The only thing I cared about really was I don't want to give it to my parents. I thought, they'd be selfish of me to, go and visit the olds or anything like that, or do something silly to put anyone at risk. So I made sure I didn't do that. But apart from that, I was fucking licking the footpath. I didn't care.
But no, pretty much. I was sniffing it too, and it was
doing.
But I don't know. It was just. For me, if I'm completely honest, the right thing would be to say, I fucking educated myself and, washed my hands and stuff. But if I'm honest, I just didn't. And it's purely just because I'm lazy as fuck.
Yep.
And I'm an idiot.
I'm still the same.
And I'm just myself. So.
I'm the same. I don't care. I'm not washing my hands anything more than I did before. There's obvious times you do wash your hands, but apart from that, I don't really give a shit.
Nah. And I think... you're allowed to have that understanding as long as you just sort of play it. And I mean, we obviously played ball. I just chilled at my house for 4 weeks and made stupid videos every day. So
I stayed at home to be honest, my whole thing was staying at home. It was more about just having a downtime than it was about avoiding some sort of toxic disease. I was just
100%.
it, you know, yeah.
That was what I was thinking of every day. Was just it's so good just to get a switch off.
Yeah. And the whole world's doing it, and we're forced to do it. And I took advantage of that. That was my motivation during lockdown. You know, but it certainly wasn't to avoid getting a disease. I thought about it. I thought it was amusing. I enjoyed. Not amusing might be the wrong word, but it was kind of neat to see how everything was during lockdown.
No, it
Empty
was
streets.
It was.
You know, people wanting to suddenly communicate with one another in real life, but they couldn't. And I'm like, oh, are you going to do that when we come out of this? I don't know. But, you know, everyone was. It was an interesting little social experiment. Yeah, and I thought that was neat.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think I didn't even leave my house until week 3. I don't think, like, even just to go to the supermarket. Or go for walks. Like I wasn't. I was just staying inside because it was just such a good period to switch off, and I think that's why I was able to come out and really sort of turn things up a notch. I was definitely a little bit exhausted because I was posting shit every day, but it was just good to just get out and just kind of be.
Some people are listening to you going, "Oh, you posted stuff online every day. How exhausted you must be."
Yeah.
They don't realize when you're doing it properly, when you're doing it the way we're doing it, it's effort.
Yeah, it is. It is effort. It is tiring. It's funny. People, social media is such a funny thing. People will be like, "Oh, how hard is it? Fucking you guys just sit around and then you tell them, all right, well, just go post this." I don't have the time. Exactly. It fucking takes time.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes time to think up ideas. It takes time to put stuff out.
That's right.
And I'm not saying it's any harder than, or of course it's not harder than fucking shoveling coal or some shit. Of course it's not harder than that.
No.
Can you imagine me doing that shit? I can't even fucking.
No, thanks.
You'll be lucky to catch me shoveling sand. Yeah. But
it's a different type of hard though. It's a mental drain. Yeah. It's trying to be creative all the time. It's hard. It's a drain, and it's also it gets you all not worried. What's the word? You get nervous.
You get anxious.
You get anxious about doing it. It's like, why isn't this coming to me? Why aren't I, being inspired all the time?
Yeah. Now, when you get creative block, you get angry. Bro, I'm literally in the middle of creative block right now, like big time. So and it is a little bit anxious because our creativity is literally how we make money. Yeah. So. When it doesn't come, you definitely have days where you're like, fuck. Yeah. If I can't come up with some shit, I'm literally fucked. And then it always just comes out of nowhere.
Something comes out.
It's like a bukkake.
So what?
Eh?
What'd you say?
No.
Creative bukkake. That's what we're talking about here. But it's working with other people and finding, like, I'm trying to create as many avenues as I can to involve others. A round table of creativity. Like, it's all right doing it by yourself, and you're sharpening your skills, whether it's on camera or behind the camera or whatever it is. But eventually, you need other people around you to sort of combine all of this, because there's always holes in your creative process. Yeah, and having other people to fill in those holes is good.
It's hard. Like, what do you find hardest about finding people to sort of fill in those roles? What have you found the hardest?
Motivated people. You get all these people who say, we'll do this and we'll do this.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then when push comes to shove, where are they?
Yeah.
Nowhere. There's nothing. And you're like, what the fuck?
That is a really good point.
Yeah. That's been the hardest one of all. Like, throughout my whole career, like, I've been doing this working in the industry for 20 years, and trying to find people who genuinely follow through. Yeah. So hard. Yeah. They're all best intent. We'll do this and we'll do that and we'll do the other thing. No one follows through. And it sort of kills your buzz.
It does. It does.
And I've suffered from that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Or more than quite a bit, more than I can even remember.
Yeah.
Because you just get down on it. You just want to escape. You just want to do something else.
Especially the hardest fuck, bro. Because I feel you exactly on what you're saying. Because the hardest thing as well is like when you're literally sitting there and you're thinking, I know exactly what needs to be done. Why the fuck is it so hard for someone to not just come and do it? I could do it right now, but
yeah.
I mean, it's just going to pop up again and again if someone. Yeah, it's such a frustrating sort of ongoing, especially in again, just our industry, man. Everyone's full of shit because you have to be.
Yeah.
A part of you has to kind of
Yeah.
be full of shit.
Especially actors.
Yeah.
Actors crack me up. And if you go to parties and shit, you're hanging out with producers and directors, and there's a level of bullshit there. And then the actors come in the room, and you're like, "Hi guys, how are you? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you." You have no idea who I am, Dick.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh, there's this facade, this veil over them.
Really-
Everything they say, and it's just like, can we just get it real for a second?
Yeah, it really is. You're just standing there like,
Yeah.
you know I'm lapping none of this up.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking tell me straight that you don't know who the fuck I am and that you're bored as fuck here.
It's fine.
Because I am
Yeah.
listening to you pretend to give a fuck.
Because all I'm hearing right now is you're hoping that I can give you something. You're hoping that you can achieve something by having a conversation with me.
Yeah.
You can't. Sorry.
I don't know. The funniest thing I find at industry stuff is the change and as soon as you tell people kind of what you're involved in or what you do, but it's the funniest because I find it especially with me,
Yeah.
because I don't dress particularly amazing, and I guess I can look quite underwhelming, I guess, and there's always a little change in kind of when I start talking about do this or do this or do you find that at all? Well, because you fucking always dress well.
Weird.
You always
I like clothes. I quite like clothes.
You'd always look the part. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I do. I enjoy fashion. That sounds fucking weird to say. Anyway, I do enjoy fashion. I enjoy clothes. I enjoy trying things out and being a little different, trying to find my own style.
yeah.
I
Actually,
enjoy that.
here's the question for you, bro. Okay, so in between, from before Bachelorette and after,
Yeah.
was there a visible change in how people
Yes,
approached you?
totally.
Not even just people that didn't know you, but people that
People
did
that
know
knew
you.
me.
Yeah, this is
Especially in the industry, because
this is what I wanted to ask.
everyone, I think a lot of people in the industry are waiting for other people to get a bump, and then they'll tag on.
And then they'll hop on.
There were so many people. At least I would say 10 or more people.
That's such a good point.
10 or more people, won't say any names, but they was like, I've known these cats for ages, I've partied with them and all that. When I say partied with them, I've been in the same room as them and had random conversations, but it's always those conversations where they're looking around the room at other people. They're always looking for an opportunity. Suddenly, I'm on The Bachelorette, and it's kind of sad on their behalf that they suddenly changed because I was on a show like that. But suddenly, I'm in the public eye, and people are coming to me, "Oh, hey, bro, how you going?
Oh,
hey, you right?
for sure,
You good?
eh?
You good? Oh, how's things?
So, want to catch up, bro?
Yeah,
Oh,
wanna
man.
catch up?
Man, I've been thinking about this thing that
Yeah.
you'd be perfect for.
Yeah. And it's
Where the fuck were you when I was doing nothing?
Exactly. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's kind of weird that it took a reality TV show for people to suddenly come out of the woodwork with it. And it's like, I've been in your face for years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now you decide that
For this.
I'm worth a conversation.
I think the funniest thing that I found, bro, was like, it always felt when you were slowly building up, it always felt like everybody was sort of just, they were just holding just your shirt just a little bit lightly.
Yeah,
And then as soon
yeah.
as they see you take it off, they grab it.
Yeah.
Like the first thing, they just grab it as hard as they can.
No, good analogy. That's perfect.
And
Yeah.
and because I found the exact same thing, bro. That's why I wanted to ask you and
Yeah.
like how you dealt with it, because it also has there's another sort of sort of thing that makes it confusing, because some of those people you do actually want to build a relationship with, but at the same time you also want to be true to yourself and have a bit of integrity for yourself, because you're like,
Yeah.
man, but this person really has fucked me around, but
Yeah.
this will be a great opportunity, because that's kind of what I've found.
But then you have got wisdom on that
Yeah.
situation. Like if you meet people who do that, you are wise to who they are and they're wise to the way they think.
Yeah.
And if suddenly they're coming along promising you stuff, or they've got this and they've got that, it's like, all right, let's talk, But
Yeah.
we've known some other people together that are similar, and they've approached us in similar ways.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm just going to hold. You held me at arm's length. Now I'm going to hold you at your promises at arm's length.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Until you come to it. But at the same time, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah,
But I'm certainly going to, take the opportunity if it comes along.
Yeah,
But with wisdom.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's such a funny thing, wasn't it? Because I mean, for you, it would have almost been like a moment. Yeah, you being announced on the show, that it would have come. Because for me, it was. For me, there wasn't really like a one moment, but it for sure kind of has been that thing.
Yeah.
I think because of lockdown, before was they'd see me, and then after lockdown they'd see me. So it was that moment, I guess. And yeah, you just suddenly everyone has an angle.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of just.
Yeah.
They remind you when you two hung out fucking 6 years ago.
Yeah. Did I meet you through that person?
Yeah.
Did we? I don't know. Probably. What does happen, bro, and this is weird, is how fast they drop.
Yeah.
Right? Now, reality TV is 15 minutes of fame. What the fuck ever. We all know, unless you know how to play the game, you're not going to have any game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing how fast people drop away, and people in marketing, people in different areas of editorial media, they disappear pretty quickly.
Because
they know your name hard when you're
fucking
on
brands
the
got
show.
known to, like, and this is the
Yeah.
biggest thing, like, I find frustrating with influencer shit is it's always like you gotta be true to the brand, you gotta feed the brand. I'm like, this fucking brand doesn't know who the fuck I am. This brand's got no integrity.
It's only one brand I care about. This one.
Yeah. I'm hot for a minute. As soon as I drop off, they're not gonna give a fuck about me. So I'm not gonna change anything for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like you're saying, bro, they fucking come quick and they want you to change every single part of you to work for them, but they drop off
pretty
as fast as they came.
Yeah, brands come to you because and you got to think of it always like that too. It's a business transaction. Like they just want access to the following I have, and that's all it is. As soon as you say something a little bit controversial, they could just fucking go.
See, that's what I mean, bro. Yeah. And that was bringing back to the audience thing is everything that I build for myself, I'm going to build it through the transaction. That every channel is going to be through the audience. Yeah. Because I've just seen over and over again, like brands open you up an opportunity to make a lot of money very fast.
Yeah.
Building an audience takes a lot longer. But for me, the direction I'm going and the kind of stuff I want to do, me personally, I've already found early, naturally what I want to say, a brand's like, nah, you can't say that. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not doing this shit.
You got to be you, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally agree.
Whereas audience, fucking you say some shit and they're almost like, bro, are you holding back a bit? I'm like, fuck, all right, yeah. I do eat ass. Yeah. Yeah.
After a shower.
I don't just lick it.
I chew it. I am in there.
Fuck, I swim in it. Just call me Mike Phelps. But yeah, it's it just keeps bringing me back to bro, that I'm just always gonna focus on audience.
Yeah.
I think a person that truly built an audience to the level where it's like mainstream, Kevin Hart, I would say, is someone because
he was him.
Yeah,
he was himself.
Yeah, he was him because he talks a lot about not having big network support when he was coming through. He was just traveling around all the comedy clubs. I mean, his biggest break, Soul Plane, was like a fucking independent like movie that that's not going to be a big studio thing. It's called fucking Soul Plane. It's about Snoop Dogg's a pilot.
Has an audience.
Yeah,
knows its audience.
Snoop Dogg's a pilot that smokes weed. Do you think like a big time studio is greenlighting Soul Plane?
This brought to you by United Airways.
Fucking, you're not seeing them on an Air New Zealand safety video. But that's what I mean is that he went through and built a proper audience and
it's a grind, man.
Yeah, and sure, the product early on was a bit messy and it wasn't refined, but I mean, fuck, he's managed to build this whole thing that's pretty safe.
Yeah,
and I mean, in 2020, he beat cheating on his missus while she was pregnant and saying homophobic shit.
Yeah,
and that's.
Yeah,
I mean that's stuff that sends other dudes to wins.
He beat the homophobic stuff to a point, but he still lost, the Oscars and all that sort of thing. But he wasn't going to back down with what he believed in. And I was like, man, too right. You say something like that 12 years ago, you can get away with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's the intent.
Yeah,
he's being funny.
Oh, for sure.
It may have been out of taste.
Yeah,
or whatever. And again, as you say, it's like we're not there to please everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we all end up having the same morals and the same way of communicating and the same ideas, the world's going to be pretty fucking boring.
Oh, for sure.
We can't make fun of people.
For sure.
You should be making fun of people in a way that shows your ignorance towards somebody because that's funny in itself.
And that's really what I try to communicate as much as I can is that, I am ignorant. I don't know shit. And for me, I'm never going to do something if I know it's bad. So...
yeah.
If I say something that offends people, well, I never went out of my way to do it to hurt people's feelings. It just came from a place that I didn't really understand. Like, so even to this day, bro, I say shit and I'm like, fuck, I didn't even know that was offensive. My
Yeah,
bad. I won't do it. Yeah, I won't do it again. But you can't fault me for fucking not knowing every single little thing about the world.
Yeah.
I've told you over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant. I don't know shit. I make fun of stuff because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
If you want to have a real serious one-on-one conversation with me, I'll tell you what I do know and what I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can't make judgments of me based off of one little throwaway comment, because if I made judgments on every single person I've ever met, on every single thing they've ever said, I'd probably think they were all assholes. But every single person I haven't met isn't an asshole. There's good in just about everyone. Some people are fucked, but
But it's context too. It's what they say before it and after it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
There's nothing worse. I find New Zealanders do this quite a lot. Is when you're at parties and that, and you say something, and I always say dumb shit. I don't know why, it just comes out.
Yeah.
But you say something, or or something that might be not racist, but certainly racially. You know, there's an element in there.
Yeah,
You know, multicultural. I feel like I have a right to do it.
Yeah,
but you say something which may be a little bit off the cuff, and then everyone looks at each other for acknowledgement that it's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, just if it's funny, laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not putting anyone down. I never put anyone down when I do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But because you might put on an accent or anything like that, people freak the fuck out.
Yeah. But this is a really interesting conversation, because this brings to so you know Chris Lilly? Jonah from Tonga?
Yeah.
So
you
know how he was getting all the shit about how he did, Jonah from Tonga and how it's racist and stuff.
Yeah.
So where I come in on that conversation is people coming in and saying, he perpetuated negative stereotypes and fucking he made Islanders look bad.
Yeah.
Where I come in from that is, okay, for starters, we all thought it was fucking hilarious because the portrayal that he did was actually pretty authentic.
Yeah.
I fucking know dudes that are exactly like that, that talk exactly like that.
Yeah.
Sure, he was a white dude doing it, but the portrayal was pretty bang on perfect.
Yeah.
And so where people were saying that he's perpetuating a negative stereotype, I then turn it back on them and say, well, why do you perceive what he's doing as negative? Because it isn't what you probably see through like a Western perspective. The shit with him, swearing and the way he maybe, acts.
Yeah.
They paint that as a negative thing, whereas like for me, who's grown up around people like that, it's normal. So I'm then looking at it like, why do you think that's a bad thing that he's doing that?
Yeah.
It's the reason it's funny is because we actually relate to it.
And a lot of the times, it's not Polynesians who are complaining about it.
It never is.
What I mean?
It never is.
It's all these self-righteous Polangis.
It really is.
Who think, it's terrible what you're doing and da-da-da. They just want to get on a high horse and shoot them down. Cancel culture. They want to cancel
it. It really is.
So this is just stupid. I thought it was funny.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had this conversation. We were talking about stereotypes. I do this podcast every Friday with a group of my mates. And I was talking to them about what a negative stereotype is. And what a negative stereotype is it isn't what people think a negative stereotype is when you take something from a culture that could be perceived as negative and then you shine a light on that. So, I don't know, the fact that Islanders turn up late. Some people would say that's a negative stereotype, but I'm like, it's not, because
it's a fucking fact.
I turned up late to this shit.
It is a fact.
Yeah, I turned up late to this shit. That's not a negative stereotype. What a negative stereotype is taking something that's inherently negative and then putting a stereotype on it. So,
right.
An example that I used when I was explaining it to the boys was, if I say, what's up, bro? I'm moldy. I'm going to go smoke some meth. There's nothing inherently moldy about that, but I just put on a moldy voice to say that I'm going to go smoke some meth. So it's the same thing regardless of what voice I put on.
Yeah.
But me putting on a moldy voice, that's a negative. That's me being racist because it's tying something negative to a stereotype.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But if I go, oh, hey, bro, is there any chance, bro, I could maybe get some of my land back? Like,
yeah.
Again, could probably be perceived as a negative stereotype because, he's informally asking for his land back and stuff. But it's authentic because Māori's got their land taken.
Yeah.
And that's authentic to them specifically because we all know, like, Treaty Waitangi, all that shit, you don't need me to explain.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between stereotyping, and Jonah from Tonga fell into the second one, not the first one. Because
Agreed.
the shit he was doing that was negative.
Yeah.
Islanders do all the fucking time.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying.
And because, but I think because with the state BLM's at, and with people kind of see all parts of indigenous culture as this quite sensitive thing. It's like, no, we've actually been kind of putting up with this shit for ages. You don't really need to baby us now. We know what's good for us and what's not. And so when people were coming out and sort of saying that, that has a negative effect, and that's racist and shit, I was like, nah, it's not. Just because he's a white dude, if it comes from an authentic place and he's commenting on it in a way that's authentic, and then even more so, it's clearly resonating with the audience that he's commenting on. It's not racist.
Has he stopped now?
I think they took it all off Netflix.
That's right, they took it off Netflix.
Fuck, they tried to cancel him.
Netflix has gone hard with that stuff, man. They cancelled, what was that one? Gone with the Wind. They got rid of Gone with the Wind.
What's on there that's like fucked?
Nothing. It's a love story told from the perspective of the South. But because it came from the perspective of the South, and there were slaves in it, and there were servants in the film and all that sort of stuff, it betrayed negative. But it's not. That is actually true. It's a love story. It's actually a love tragedy. Because she loses everything and tries to get it. I can't remember exactly what happens, but she loses everything. It's not a happy story. You know what I mean? And people got rid of it because they were typecast. And the very first African American to win an Academy Award was the lady that played her maid in the film.
No shit.
And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous.
It's just people trying to win points in games that fucking like, why do you even feel the need to play that?
No.
It really makes no sense, and it's again, a lot of people feel the need that they have to, shout to the world, proving why they're a good person. And for me, it's just, you can virtue signal all you want, you can say all the right things you want, but if you're sitting, for me, my judgment is, if I see you, how you treat the people right in front of you, that's how I make a judgment. You can say all the right shit.
Exactly.
But if you don't actually live it, then fucking what you're saying means nothing to me. Because I've seen plenty of people firsthand, they're one thing on Twitter, they say all the right things, they support every movement. And then I see them with, a waiter right in front of them and they're a dick. They're a fucking asshole. It's, all right, so for what does you saying all that, what does it do if the one person that you come in contact with, you fucking ruin their day? And that's my thing, bro, is, you know, for the people that come in contact with me, I know exactly where I stand and they know where I'm coming from. So I don't really give a fuck about the people that haven't met me that sort of perceive me as one way on social media. Because to me, like I said before, with the influencer culture, I don't perceive that as the real world. So I'd put myself out there authentically as possible. But in regards to how people perceive me and how I'm taken, like, I don't really give a fuck, because it's out of my control.
I totally agree with what you're saying about people need to look at themselves. Like, focus on you first and then go out. Everybody's trying to save the world one like at a time.
Bro.
Or one comment at a time, or one march at a time. And there are things like, BLM and that sort of stuff. Yes, okay, absolutely, that needed to happen, and the marches are a good thing. But there are these people that won't let them go. They want to be part of that tribe. And that's not just that. That's one case. There's so many. But for me, it's like when you get up in the morning. Every person out there, when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a black person, gay person, white person, brown, whatever? Or do you see you? You know,
exactly.
If you're seeing a colour, then you're already on the back foot.
Exactly.
You're already losing. Because you're going to walk out the door with a negative mindset, or that I've got less than
you're immediately
person.
You're immediately gonna, the box that you then put yourself in, you're gonna put every other person in a box that you feel like they should fit in. And when you start doing that with people, that's when you start treating people differently. For me, you and I are both exactly the same. I don't give a fuck what you look like, where you come from. I'm gonna talk to you exactly the same way. And it's just because, everyone to me is just exactly the same, and that's how I want to be treated. I don't want to get shit because, I'm a brown dude. I don't want to get opportunities based off of that. If I'm honest, I'll still take them.
You're right. But you don't necessarily want the tokenism.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't need that. I want to get up and know that I can do this for myself. I don't need your help to do that.
Exactly. No part of what I'm doing needs to be validated through you identifying as that something that needs to be filled, and you're doing that for me. I just feel like you're patting me on the head and pushing me, This is good for you. That's what it feels like. And I'm like, I don't want that shit.
No.
And so I never want to do the same for other people.
Yeah.
And that's just something that in this day and age, it's everybody. Yeah, they're all just trying to prove shit to people that they they don't even know.
Yeah.
And then the firing line is everybody that's immediately around them. They then get the offset of them trying to do that to people they don't know. Then everyone around them gets the fucking flow-on effect of that insecurity and that uncertainty in themselves.
Yeah. And you got people who go on some of these marches and that sort of thing, or they have these, grand ideas of saving the world, and they're not protecting or helping or saving the family that's right in front of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you focusing on you? Focus on your family. Focus on getting food on the table first instead of blaming everybody else for not having food on the table. Now, granted, some people are in a different situation, right? They can't help where they are. But there are still plenty of opportunities, especially in this country. So many opportunities. And you can't keep playing the victim card all the time. It's just get up there and do it for yourself. I had this semi-argument, but more of a conversation with somebody recently, and I said what I said before about, what do you see in the mirror? Do you see color, or do you see a person? And they said, but if they walk out the door and walk around the corner, the next person's still going to pick on them and beat them up and all this sort of stuff. And I said, no, but if they walk out the door still seeing a color, they're already on the back foot and they will be taken advantage of. But if they walk out the door and feel a person and feel themselves and they have confidence, they've got less chance of being taken out. If you walk out the door, if you believe, right, that you look in the mirror and you're brown, and you think, this is my lot, and I'm just gonna adopt it, and that'll be it. You put on the hoodie, you put the hoodie over your head, and all that sort. You walk out the door. What are people going to see? They're not going to judge you on that color. I don't believe they do. They judge you on the way you hold yourself first, and the way you present yourself. Then maybe color, and that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But if you walk out the door reasonably put together, walking tall, shoulders back, no one's going to fuck with you. This person, no matter what color you are, has got something else. And you're radiating something.
It reminds me of, in Remember the Titans, there was a scene where the white coach, he was like kind of being really nice to all the black football players. And then Denzel Washington pulls them aside and he's like, the last thing these boys need is for you to coddle them, because the real world is not going to give them that shit. And so you give them that false expectation of that. They're going to walk out and it's going to kind of fuck with them. And so what you're saying is exactly in that vein. You can't walk out expecting to be received in one way. Where the power is in teaching, and I'm talking especially to, fellow Pacifica Māori, where the power is for us is teaching and how we can retain who we are and how to be ourselves in all these different environments. It isn't in how we have to sort of the energy should be teaching us how we handle those environments, not telling those environments to change for us. That's what I was trying to say.
I got you.
Because you can tell all you want. Fucking some of them just never going to change. But if we tell the people on our side, you just got to carry yourself. You got to be this way. Be unapologetic for yourself. Don't put yourself down, because that's just going to give an opportunity for everyone else to pile up. If we talk to our own people that way, and I'm using a Māori Pacifica example, but I'm talking in general. You should really focus, and this is again back to the social media side of things. Talk to the people that are with you, educate them on how they should carry themselves. Don't spend all your energy telling all the other groups how to behave.
Nice.
And that's where everybody's energy is going, is telling each group how to behave. Fucking, you'll be doing that to the day you die if that's where your energy is going. The people with you, you tell them what they need to hear and how they need to what they need to do to navigate all this shit. And you've changed a lot more lives doing that than you will fucking just telling everybody how they should act. And that's where the battle sort of in life in the world is at the moment, is everybody's energy is telling everybody how to act, and we're ignoring all the people with us. And so, like, for me, rather than fucking telling everybody, what I believe in my beliefs, where I direct my energy is in my 15-year-old brother. And like, hey bro, so we're gonna go to this place, and you just make sure you your eye contact, and just make sure you're talking and you're respectful. Don't don't worry, it's no different to anything else. You know, just really directing my energy into that rather than going to those other groups and being like, okay, you have to treat us this way. We know you've done this, you've done this. It's for me, it's just frustrating to watch because it just kind of seems such a simple thing to do, and people just really don't fucking get it.
I think it all.
Yeah.
Have you had any heckling? Any charged heckling coming at you?
Yeah, I get that shit. I mean, that shit's normal.
Because you're a very conversational style of comedy, eh?
Yeah. To the point where a lot of traditional stand-up comedians, don't really consider what I do stand-up just because it's a lot of engagement. And even in a set where I'm doing material, I'm almost always just going to...
Yeah.
If someone heckles me, there's just a part of me I have to respond.
Yeah.
Just because fucking... Like, why not? That's why.
The conversational stuff's good. I mean, people like Eddie Izzard and what's his name? Scotsman. Fuck, I can't remember. His name was right in my head. Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
That's all conversational based stuff.
Of course.
You know what I mean? At least they make it appear conversational, which is the key.
Yeah. No, so I do get heckled a fair bit. Sometimes. It's fun, yeah. So over this whole tour, because it is the Crowd Week tour, obviously there's fucking heckling galore. But it's something I welcome, bro. Like traditional stand-up heckling is pretty off limits.
Yep.
But for me, I'm all about audience. I'm all about engagement. I'm all about making them part of the show. And I think even so I'm writing my show for next year, like my stand-up show that I'll do. And even then, it'll be a lot of material. It'll be all material and it'll be all bits that sort of, counteract one another. And
you kind of get from A to B and then you just fill in the rest.
And amongst all that filler, there will definitely be spaces where I just engage with the audience because I think stand-up, the beautiful thing about stand-up is that interaction between the audience and the artist, it can actually enhance the show. So I don't know anything else. I mean, music's the same. Whenever fucking artists get dudes up on stage to like dance everybody. When I say dudes, I mean people. I don't know. I just kind of refer to in a general sense. You get what the fuck I'm saying. So when like bands get motherfuckers up to like dance and shit, and effectively that's what I view crowd work with the audience. Yeah. Because when people get up and they dance on stage with the band and shit, fucking the crowd goes nuts. Yeah. And I'm all about what's going to get the best reaction, what's going to create the best experience. And so that's why I'm quite conversational and can be pretty open to heckling sometimes.
Yeah. That's the way to go. It's a talent in that itself, though, being able to think on the fly that quickly.
Yeah. How's your public speaking?
It's fine.
Yeah, I can imagine you're really good.
I've done stand-up. I did it a couple of times about 10, 11 years ago.
How was it?
Terrible.
Really?
Nah, it was bad. Because I worked myself up so much. Like I expected to be really, really good. Like because I can do I do a lot of speaking and public speaking and all that, and that's fine. Yeah. But the moment you get up somewhere and you have to be funny.
Because you are one of the most confident dudes I've ever met. Just naturally.
Naturally.
But that can hurt you on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I learned a valuable lesson, and that was, I can do public speaking and speeches for weddings and blah, 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 and all that sort of shit, but any problem whatsoever and be funny as fuck. Yeah. The moment people expect me to be funny, I fucking freak. Yeah, you know what I mean? I just I'm thinking way too much about it. Yeah. So I did it a couple of times, and the first time was a fucking disaster because I just want to do it as fast. I was nervous, so I did it as fast as I possibly could.
I see.
I just wanted to get off real quick. And the second time wasn't so bad. This is at the Classic.
Oh, so you did go to the club and try?
Yeah. That was a long time ago. We were shooting a documentary on stand-up comedians, and I thought, there's an open mic night, I'll give it a go.
Buzzy.
It was fun.
What were there any of the comedians you worked with, like well-known ones? Nah. Anyone you remember?
Brendan Lovegrove.
So he started me in stand-up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lovegrove. Fuck, he's the best, bro.
I'm trying to get him here, eh? I'm trying to get him on here.
Oh, fuck, he'd do it. He'd love to do it.
He really wants to do it, eh?
B's only thing is, fuck, he's out the gate, so he can't organise himself for shit. Doesn't have a car.
Nah, he's terrible.
Doesn't have a car. Nah, doesn't
have a
car.
Bad.
But like that dude is somebody that, and I hate to talk about him in this way, but the appreciation isn't going to be there until he's someone that when he passes away, fucking every single person in his dog is going to come out and talk about how much he did for the industry. Because he does do a shitload. Like I said, he started me, bro.
He's funny as fuck.
And he's the fucking man. Like, he is unreal. So there used to be this open mic, bro, Revelry, and it was fucking...
I remember it.
Bro, it was... You basically go there expecting to bomb. Like, it was horrific. And even on Revelry's, like, deadest nights, he'd still be just killing whoever's in the audience. Just killing them. Fucking dudes...
He's done.
Literally whiplash, head back, cracking up that hard. He can walk into any room and do exactly that.
He's a slayer, eh?
He's the best comedian in New Zealand by far. He's better than Reese. He's better than Flights. In the sense that
he's the best stand-up comedian.
Yeah, stand-up. In the sense that you put him on a stage and he'll fucking just murder any room. But it's because he's crazy as fuck. He's not.
He has no fucks to give, man.
No, he has none. He'll come on here, say whatever he wants. He doesn't. He does not give a shit. But deep down, he's not even deep down, bro. He's one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet.
Oh, he's lovely.
And like for me, it was my second ever gig. I did Revelry. It was my second ever gig. And he came up to me afterwards and was like, "You're going to be a superstar. I see it for you already." And through this whole period, bro, of me sort of, beginning to, I don't know, one way or another, start to move towards that perception, I guess, that he talked about. He's been saying, "I did always tell you. I always told you. I always told you." Because he really did. And he was telling me that before. He was telling me that at a point in my life where I hadn't heard anybody tell me I was good at anything. Genuinely, outside of the, your parents fucking think you're going to be the best at everything. He was the first one that really sat me down and was like, mate, you've got what it takes.
He's a good dude, man. No, I've had a few good comments trying to get him here, actually, but he went through a tough time about a year ago or something, and he said, oh, no, he was pretty open about it. I'm in a bad space, can't do it.
That's him.
But recently it was... he started doing stand-up again.
And
he was open to coming on here. So thanks for reminding me. I'll give him a bell. Try and get him on.
I think the thing with with dudes like that, what makes them so unreal at stand-up is they're so perceptive to what's around them. So they pick up everything and they know everything in-depthly. But the issue with that is when things happen to you, they hit you really, really hard. So that's why with him, he has his periods where you don't see him. Or he's definitely, when you're with him, he's definitely missing a little part of him. It's Mike King. Mike King talks a lot about being the same, being the same back then, I guess. He sort of had to fulfill it in different ways.
That's what I found making the documentary was pretty much all of them. Let's be honest, all the comedians
pretty much,
mental. Not issues is the wrong word, but definitely.
That's
different sort of upbringings.
That's
they struggled.
That's probably the way you could put it. Yeah, it's a general way you could put it. Because I think inherently, people that do stand up comedy, they need immediate validation. And people like that need comes from a specific type of trauma or a specific type of thing that they've suffered throughout their life. And stand up is a vehicle that actually allows to have that immediate validation that they've never had. These are people that have never had validation, in a way that's valuable to them through their lives, basically. For me, bro, I would say I could honestly say I'm definitely in that boat. And so when you have this vehicle that allows for that immediately, that's why you get all these types of characters. Fucking it just becomes about everything in their lives. I was lucky that I had that sort of experience, but then I also had a lot of experiences beyond that built up my confidence, helped me learn who I was. And then the mix of them has allowed me to be extremely perceptive, but also extremely sure of myself. So that's why a lot of those guys are like that, and that's why Brennan is like that.
What was it that got you into it anyway? Why did you decide to? You know what? Comedy's my thing. What was it?
So I was just in a stage of my life where wasn't too happy with what I was up to because I was working in property development. Which reminds me, I need to delete my LinkedIn because it's like, I think because it's got all my shit on there and fucking, I'm never gonna use it. So I was working in property development and studying it. Hated it.
Yeah,
I think in theory I enjoyed it. I still am really passionate about interior design. So there's a big part of me that still actually loves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was doing that and just didn't really like the career prospects where I hated the industry. I hated the people I was working with.
Yeah.
And then just went away and sort of did a bit of soul searching. And one of the things that was an option was stand up because I loved going to 21st and fucking doing speeches there. So that was the avenue to me trying it. And then I didn't realize that it was everything I wanted to do until I actually got on stage.
Yeah.
Lloyd Langford, who's a really well-known UK comedian, he's done Live at the Apollo and all the big gigs.
Yeah.
He basically said, and I used to have this journal, I mean I still have it, and I used to write down all like the compliments big comedians would give me.
Oh yeah.
And Lloyd Langford said a bunch of things like, you're gonna be great, man. You're Joe Daymond. That's the name of a superstar. I remember him saying that specifically to me. And then he went on stage and told people this is his first time doing stand up. It's like the best first time I've ever seen, saying stuff like that. And then that gave me the confidence to think, this could be it.
Yeah.
And then that second gig with Lovegrove where he sat me down afterwards. Yeah. And I remember this because Chris Rock was in town and Chris Rock's manager was on the same night. Well, not his manager, his writer. Yeah, his writer.
No shit.
And it was just me, Lovegrove, one other person, I think Scott Bennett, who's another comedian.
Yeah.
We were just all sitting around Lovegrove and Chris Rock's writer just talking and shit. And I think his writer went up and got a drink or something. There was a break in the conversation and Lovegrove just like put his hand on my shoulder. And then that was when he said all the stuff I was saying before that, you could be... Yeah. Not only could you be really, really good, you could be with these dudes. And that was and then that was the moment where I was like, fuck, this is everything I'm gonna do now. Yeah. That's
cool, man.
Yeah. And then 6 months later I think I dropped out of uni.
Yep.
I left my job and was just doing stand up, bro. It was revolving my whole life around it. Just started working casually, labouring and stuff. Yeah. Just so that I had the time to so that I had the ability I could like fly to Christchurch or Wellies or Palmy for gigs and stuff. And was just working casually. I was still working 30 hours a week through casual jobs. But for sort of the next 2 years I just devoted myself to working like labouring jobs, sustain myself and fucking just doing stand up.
Sure.
Yeah.
You do writing as well, eh? You do a lot behind the scenes?
Yeah, so that probably didn't really start until... Oh, no, that started because my experience with John and Ben came in I was about 8 months in. Yeah. So fucking way before. Yeah. That's crazy to be given an opportunity like that. Yeah. You're not even a year in. So I think it was after that experience because I was writing for them. I'd never written scripts or anything before. Yeah. It was after doing that I then figured out my passion for writing. And so that was, about 8 months in. So I've been writing for about 2 years. I've only had one project that anybody's ever seen, which is This Is Auckland. But I've always just been writing, writing, whether it's sketches. Yeah. I've written a bunch of short films. Yeah. I've got like half a feature film, which I probably won't finish. Just heaps of, random shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah. But no, I've been all over the show, bro. Yeah.
From developing to filling up fucking Sky City Theatre.
Yeah, bro.
So what's your trajectory now? Like how many shows have you got left on this tour? And
so this is it. This is the final one for this tour. But kind of at the end of the year, I'm looking at doing. So I was literally. This is all stuff that fucking hasn't been confirmed or anything. But I just talk openly about what I'm gonna do, anyways, because
that's what you do.
Fuck, what's the harm? Yeah. So I'm gonna start doing, because the hard thing that I found with open micing, bro, is. Because I used to just rock up to open mics and, I was allowed to just do what I want and try shit out. Yeah. But it's so funny rocking up to open mics now. I don't put my name on the bill, I just rock up. And as soon as I get up, the phones come out.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
The phones come out. people like tapping each other and shit, and I think a little part of me is like, oh fuck, now I have to kill.
The pressure.
But you don't, so I don't give myself that opportunity to try out new things. So I got a really good idea from my mate Nick Rado, who's a really, really well-respected comedian. And he said, bro, just do a monthly work in progress show. You can use that as your opportunity to really test out all your material. And so I'll just do that. I'll have this monthly work in progress show where I put out the tickets a day or two beforehand. And then, people will just rock up and just use that as kind of my opportunity to work stuff out. And then at the end of the year, bro, I'm going to try to do this massive as gig. Been thinking town hall, but it's a mixture of stand-up, music.
Fuck, it's so good to hear somebody thinking big. Instead of trying to be overly humble about the whole situation. That's part of your thing, though, where you're like this super confident dude with a humble side.
Well, I think with me, bro, is I'm so open about when I'm critical, and a lot of us are becoming quite good at it because you're like, talk about your vulnerabilities and shit. That conversation has not becoming an issue. So I'm really open about being really open about what I'm critical about and what I'm struggling with. But we have to balance and we have to reciprocate the energy on the other end. So I do that by talking about all my big plans, about what I'm feeling really good at.
You got it away.
I'm gonna openly shit on myself. So I'm gonna openly suck myself off as well.
Not easy.
Not easy. Had to take out the ribs, but
was it Marilyn Manson they said did
that? I mean, I fucking. Is that permanent face paint on his face?
Nah.
It's not?
Nah.
Okay.
I got told that he was, do you remember, you might be too young, there was a show called The Wonder Years.
Yeah, no.
With TV's Fred Savage. No, I don't remember that.
With Savage?
Fred Savage.
Oh.
Not Savage, with Savage. Fucking hell. Swing. No.
Savage, that's the thing.
No, anyway, there was this kid on there, this was back in the 80s, and there was a rumor going around that Marilyn Manson was the kid from this show, but I think it's total bullshit. But I'm pretty sure he did take his 2 ribs out so he could give himself a bit of the old fellatio.
I mean, it's not gay if you're doing it to yourself.
No, it's fine.
Because then effectively, if it was, then
it's still
then masturbation would be gay.
Exactly.
Because you got a dick in your hand.
You're giving yourself a
you got a dude's dick in your hand. Like it's pretty gay, bro. But hey, man, that's pretty weird, bro. You got a dude's dick in your hand.
I don't know about you. You've got a dick in your mouth. That's fucking strange. It's mine. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, true. Fuck. That's. Yo.
And on that note, brother, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Des. Appreciate it, my brother.
Again, man. It's always a pleasure. And man, let's just keep an eye on things, see how things go. And you do that town hall gig. Let's fucking do this again.
Fuck yeah, for sure, bro.
Very soon. Not that I want you to become famous and come on my show. What I mean is, I just want to keep an eye on your progress. That would be
and the other one too.
And the other one too, actually. If you could just push this out to as many people as you can,
that'd
be great.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. No, man, it's awesome. And
appreciate it, brother.
I'm stoked to see someone like you succeeding so well and actually taking the risks and not being afraid to just get out there and do it. It's fucking awesome.
Means a lot, brother.
Well done.
Appreciate it.